हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं भारत के. Wait a minute, sorry, wrong channel. This isn't for the Indian crowd. Today we're going to be talking about good old-fashioned Nintendo, ladies and gentlemen. Now, before we start this video off, I'm going to say a naughty, sinful word that I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people going, but Muda, God won't let you go through the pearly gates if you do that. It's emulation. I'm sorry. I tried turning myself into the police today. I told them I emulated a GameCube game. Oh boy. They kind of laughed at me and told me to go back home. So here I am talking about good old Nintendo. Ladies and gentlemen, Nintendo, like most online gaming services nowadays, PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, Magnavox Odyssey, I guess at this point, has an online subscription service. Basically, you pay these companies a few bucks every year just so you can connect to another dude's system and play online. Yeah, peer-to-peer connections paid for in 2021. Sometimes you'll actually get, dedicated servers. Sometimes corporate gaming will actually want to give back. Nintendo Switch Online has jumped through a price hike. Now, I don't know if I was looking at Apple, ladies and gentlemen, but here's the current pricing for Switch. Basically, you pay $20 a year to play online with your Nintendo Switch. So basically the online games include Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8. Oh, wait. ARMS. That's the other one. Yeah, dude, actually, I spent a lot of time playing ARMS. I actually am surprised they're not even updating that game or making a second one. ARMS is one of the best Switch IPs ever. I don't care what anyone says. So basically, I don't know if Nintendo's lost it. Actually, I think that's pretty much general statement there. Nintendo is a wild company. So apparently, I guess I thought they were Apple. They made the online plus expansion pack. When I heard about this on the Treehouse and Direct or whatever, I was like, wait a minute. Are they going to make me fucking treat this like a Sega 32X? Am I going to stick a mushroom cloud underneath my Switch? No, ladies and gentlemen, they hiked the price up to $50 a year. For if you're an individual user. If you got a family up to 8 people, you're paying $80 US a year. Now, you might be like, whoa, that's a lot of money. I know there's a few people out there like, that divides to like $5 every 12 months. Ladies and gentlemen, I've done some of the math myself. I get it. But sometimes when it comes to subscription fees, there's a whole heck of a lot of them in gaming these days. Everywhere you go, there's a goddamn subscription fee waiting to grab you, okay? You got Uplay Plus, you've got EA Plus, you've got fucking Game Pass, you got everything, and now you have to find out the value in every subscription. So ladies and gentlemen, with PlayStation Plus, you get a few games every month, and access, at least if you're on the PS5, to some really kick-ass exclusives. It's not the best service in the world, but clearly they're trying. Microsoft decides to outclass the competition and give you access to the online gaming front, and if you pay money, you get Game Pass, which is like 100 games that you think you want to buy, you won't buy, but you at least get to play, and it's better than nothing. Plus it has Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon. That alone makes that entire purchase worth it. But ladies and gentlemen, Nintendo 64 has decided to introduce some new, pleasures into the mix. What justifies this price hike? Let's go down the rabbit hole. Well, I went directly to the source itself, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted to see what Nintendo Switch was given, so I decided to go right here to Nintendo.com. And over here, ladies and gentlemen, they're giving you all the benefits. Playing with your friends, playing some NES and SNES games, admittedly a lot of them. Save cloud data, okay? So basically you're going to back up your actual save data to the cloud. Hopefully it's a better solution than PlayStation, because after you played enough games, Sony doesn't even allow you to back up, yet giving you 100 gigs of storage. That's a different story. You get access to Toad using a smartphone, basically expanded features on the smartphone app, which we'll get to in a bit, and a beautiful little box that gives you more. Plus, with the expansion pass, you get N64 games. How many? Oh, we'll find out. Genesis games. Woohoo! And then you also get access to the Animal Crossing paid DLC. Thankfully, is purchasable separately for like $25. Which, if that's all you want, don't get the subscription fee. Buy the DLC separately so your DLC isn't tied to a subscription fee. That's godly pro tips right there. So I wanted to look at the N64 games in question because I thought, man, there must be a bounty of them for that price. No, here you go, ladies and gentlemen. You get a good old-fashioned 9 games. Count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We went full Sesame Street on that one. So what are some of these games? Well, I want to go over them. You got Super Mario 64, which it's fine and dandy. I actually think this might be the better ROM than whatever they package with the 3D All-Stars collection, right? You get Super Mario 64, which is probably going to be fun for like an hour until you realize Mario Kart 8 exists on the Switch, so I might as well play some of that. Star Fox 64, admittedly the only thing I care about, and I hope the rumble feature is included with the Switch haptics, okay? Yoshi's Story, which I've never played it, but I've never been a huge fan of the Yoshi games, so maybe I'll give it a try. I'll tell you how in a bit. Through emulation? Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which, you know, for the price tag you're charging, why couldn't you at least give me Majora's Mask as well? Clearly it's the better N64 Zelda. We can agree to disagree all we want, but I think what I said is basically a factual statement. You get win-back covert operations. Now, this took me to the blast from the past. Everyone I talk to has no idea about this game. I know about it because I have it on the PS2. This is like a mix between Siphon Filter and Metal Gear. And the fact that they're giving you the N64 version, guys, get it on the PS2. I'm just saying. You get Mario Tennis, which, I mean, we already got a tennis game on the Switch, but I appreciate the thought. You got Dr. Mario 64, which, that game right there, boys and girls, that's a good time, all right? Get another person with you and have a good old-fashioned puzzle extravaganza. Sin and Punishment, which I think is a pretty decent game. I mean, I like me Sin and Punishment, okay? I'm not going to dog on that game whatsoever. Now, for $50 a year, you would think, damn, that's all I'm getting? Don't worry, guys. Nintendo's a very charitable organization. You get Sega Genesis games, too. You want to play some Phantasy Star 4, some Gunstar Heroes, some Golden Axe, a little bit of Castlevania, some Contra, Echo the Dolphin, Strider, Musha, Restar, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Shining Force, Shinobi 3, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and Streets of Rage. At least give your boy some goddamn Sonic and Knuckles 3, guys. God damn. All right, you know, the funny thing about it is the whole Sega Genesis collection, as far as I know, Sega actually releases a literal collection for the PS4, and I also think Switch as well, where they give you all these games and way more as part of it for, like, literally less of the price than the subscription fee. In fact, if you buy the collection on PC, I think they just straight up give you the ROMs so you can put them in an emulator and get a better feel out of them. It's actually that wild. Now, of course, some of the cool things that Nintendo has been selling is this N64 controller. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care what anyone says. I would love to have this for some Project 64 nights, but unfortunately it's sold out because, again, we got scalpers, ladies and gentlemen. They're all lining up. We got like perma robots sitting over here grabbing this shit. So now that we went over some of those game costs, you might be like, whoa, Muda, was any of that worth it? I'm going to have to say that for $50 a year, man, these people are really gouging you. Now, to understand, I'm not here really about the games. I actually have a real issue with how Nintendo handles its online service. They're basically paying you to pay nearly the same price you do for Microsoft and Sony by giving you literally a 10% of the feature set. Yes, we are talking about the same game console that, by the way, if I wanted to quickly jump in and I wanted to share an image, like you go to the media screen right here, this is my Animal Crossing character, okay, big thick boy, and if I hit the share button, you know what I can do? I can post it, I can send it to a smartphone, and I can add text. Where can I post it to? Not the Nintendo services online. No. I get the option of tweeting this out or putting it on Facebook for my grandmother to see. So ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much the only feature you get. May I remind you, the Nintendo had an amazing online social service, okay, called the Miiverse, okay? I don't care what anyone says about the Miiverse. You know how many times me and my friends have sat down and come across some of the most insanely good role plays and original characters on that site? The fact that we don't even have Miiverse, an ability to share screenshots with our friends and barely send messages. If I sign on to my Switch right now, ladies and gentlemen, god damn, if I go to my friends list, I want to message my buddy Tyler real quick. Hey Tyler, what do you think about Metroid Dread? You know what I can do with Tyler? I can just add him, I can switch his best friend status on and off. Bro, what is this? Are we friends or not? Can I not send a message to my friend in a modern 2021 game console?
But Muda,
gives you an app on your phone. And that's true. There's an app on my phone for almost every social media game service out there. Point being is, I don't need to bring out my phone every time I need to do some dumb shit. I should be able to do basic features like that on any device. Why is it that we pay for an online service where the actual team behind Nintendo has not pushed things like Netflix or Amazon Prime Video appropriately to the actual system? As far as I know, I can't even use this as a media consumption device unless all I want to do is play video games, which is fine and dandy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, may I remind you, with all these games, Nintendo used to be the king of virtual consoles. Remember back in the day of the Wii and the Wii U? Their online store was the creme de la creme for getting all these old school games, ladies and gentlemen. Literally, you could sign on to the Wii Shop, you could sign on to Wii U, and get yourself a bunch of awesome kick-ass games for a pretty reasonable price delivered to your device. That's without a subscription fee. That's without giving Nintendo any sub money. They were just willing to give you money out, or sorry, give you these games for a few reasonable bucks. And that was a fine and dandy scenario. You know, the Switch is powerful enough for us to have games beyond the N64 era. And before anybody says, but Muda, this makes emulating these games easier. Yes, key word, Nintendo is, you're paying Nintendo to emulate these games on your device, right? There is nothing stopping you from downloading the freest emulators on your modern day smartphone and getting the exact same, if not better, experience. Ladies and gentlemen, these games are so old and vintage that emulating them through Project 64 or Kega will give you a far better time and reasonable value than any of this. Nintendo has gone off the rails with its pricing scheme. And to be real with you, I wouldn't care if they bundled this with the current pricing. Hell, if they even hiked the price by $10, I wouldn't have anything to laugh at. But a $50 a year price tag for barely anything in return is, quite frankly, pretty laughable. But that's all I'm going to just put out there, man. I feel like Nintendo has that fan base that's just willing to consume anything dropped at a hat. And ladies and gentlemen, may I remind you, a few days ago, I was on Nintendo's side defending Metroid Dread from all of the piracy stuff that was floating around on the internet. Granted, there's a lot of nuance to that, but you can't say that I'm not a Nintendo user, okay? I'm out there buying Switches and supporting this company. I'm out there supporting the AIDS that is Nintendo's corporate side. But at the end of the day, when we look at the actual pricing schemes that they're running on it, you can't help but not laugh, all right? Like, ladies and gentlemen, let's give some criticism to Nintendo every once in a while. And I feel like if more people were willing to do that, Nintendo would give like 10 times more features onto the actual Nintendo Switch, and beyond that, Nintendo would go out of their way to probably give us some form of the virtual console back. Ladies and gentlemen, for $50 a year, I expect Nintendo to not give me Genesis games. I expect them to give me some goddamn Dreamcast games. The day that Ryu Hazuki's Shenmue story will be playable on Nintendo Switch is the day I'll consider giving them expansion pack money. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, let's look forward to some Animal Crossing DLC, because we all need some cute little critters to carry around in our free time. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am